Welcome to this edition of Backstage Pass with Lia Chang. I'm your host, Lia Chang.
Congratulations, Kristen!
On February 9th and Lunar New Year's Eve, Kristen Faith Oei made history taking center stage as the first Asian American to play Velma Kelly during its 27-year historic run on Broadway. She joined the company in January in the role of Hyun-yuk and is the cover for Velma. Velma Kelly, a role played by legends like Cheetah Rivera, Bebe Neuwirth, Amra Faye Wright, and Catherine Zeta-Jones, to name a few, is an absolute dream role, but Kristen never thought it would be possible for her. Dreams do come true, and Asian representation matters.
Ladies and gentlemen, Kristen Faith Oei and Ariana! Yes, sir.
Thank you for coming.
Oh, you know me.
Hi, Lia. Hi. Oh, yay, Patrick. You made this possible. Oh, thank you. Okay. I love you. Had my castmates for sure. Hi, Claire. You did so good. She flew in from Cali. Yeah. Oh my God. So hard that I win. That was so fun. Beautiful. We had so much fun. That was Velma Kelly. That's Velma.
This is her first night on as Velma.
No. You were amazing. You're amazing. I wouldn't ever know you. Oh my gosh. Yeah, Ariana and I showed today. Oh my God. You're amazing. I literally thought you'd been doing it. Glad I came across that Ready, go!
Abingdon Theatre Company presented a concert performance of Divided, a new musical composed by Kristen Rosenfeld with book and lyrics by Luanne Rosenfeld at Chelsea Table and Stage. The performance was directed by Jim Cooney with musical direction by Robbie Cowan.
Abingdon Theater's Divided. I'm Luanne Rosenfeld.
And I'm Kristen Rosenfeld.
And we are at Chelsea Table and Stage for Broadway on the Bowery.
Divided, produced by Abingdon Theatre Company.
I sat down with the mother-daughter musical theater writing team to talk about Divided and centering their narratives on women. Kristen also talked about her work as manager of the Bo-Law Gung Fu Martial Arts School, and on Saturday, February 3rd, her Sifu Paul Ko and students from Bo-Law Gung Fu will be performing the lion dance and give martial arts demonstrations at the Asian Society New York as part of the programming of the delightful family-friendly activities.
Today, I'm at Chelsea Table and Stage for Abingdon Theater's Broadway on the Bowery presentation of Luanne Rosenfeld and Kristen Rosenfeld's musical Divided. Welcome to the show. I'm so excited. And is this the first time that it's being presented in New York?
The original version was presented in New York in 2016. And then there's only 2 songs that are the same.
Well, tell me what Divided is about.
It is the story of 2 women. One's an African American, one is a Southern belle, who embark on a friendship that they should not have embarked on in their time. Travel from Mississippi to Boston through the Civil War, before the Civil War. Basically, they're rebels who say we're not going to follow all the rules that society is putting on us. And they come out victorious in the end.
And how were you inspired to write this show?
So Divided is actually based on a true story, loosely from a family history that I was having dinner with them. And they said, have we never told you this story before? We're just talking about family histories in general. I said, no, I've never heard this story. So they started telling the story about the great-grandmother who was a Southern woman, met a Northern man just before the Civil War. They fell in love. They got married. They moved back to the North to be with his family, had a child. And then as they tell the story, the husband's family poisoned his mind against his Southern wife and drove her away and kept the child with them in the North. The child grows up believing her whole life that her mother is dead. She finds out much later in her life that her mother may actually still be alive, goes on this sort of quest to find her, ends up finding her, and they ended up having a wonderful relationship later in life. So that's very much like the genesis of Divided. It has changed a lot. We've obviously embellished it and changed it, but it is, loosely based on that true story.
Now, you are a mother-daughter team. How long have you actually been collaborating, though?
We started collaborating in 2008 when I was on tour with Spring Awakening.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
How does the collaboration work when you're on the road and not together?
Pretty much we start with the story, so it always starts with the book and it starts with lyrics, and I'll send something to Kristen, she'll read it, she'll work on music, she'll send something back to me. Technology is wonderful. She'll make a recording on her phone that I listen to. Sometimes she'll just call and sing it to me.
Aww.
So we can get a feel for whether it's the right music for that moment, for those lyrics. So we pretty much go back and forth.
And how many musicals have you collaborated on?
Let's see.
I don't know.
Maybe 5.
I think so.
What excites you about having it being done here?
Well, I'll let Kristen add. I think one of the great things is that Abingdon has been fabulous. They really take seriously the idea of shining a light on new work by relatively unknown writers, as opposed to just, this is a new work, but we know the writer won a Pulitzer Prize.
Right.
And they have just been amazing. They really have been supportive in every way, and we've got amazing talent that is bringing the songs to life.
And how did it come onto Abington's radar? Did you submit it for a presentation, or someone was chatting about it, or you were having cocktails?
Jim Cooney, who's directing the concert, is somebody that we have worked with. He's a wonderful director.
Okay.
He's also a great supporter of artists. So he knew the show. We worked with him on it at James Madison University.
Okay.
And he was friends with Chad at Abingdon. And when they said, we're looking for something new, Jim said, you have to read this and hear some of the music. And Chad loved it.
That was amazing.
It was amazing.
Synergy.
The opposite of dividing each other up is to have empathy for each other, and this is a show that lets the audience see different types of people and from different viewpoints and whatnot. And so I think it's don't underestimate the power that we have as artists to really make people think differently and offer change to the world. And this is a show that does that. And so I know it's a one-night concert, but we can really take this responsibility to deliver this story and give people a chance to think differently. So thank you for being here. Thank you for doing this tonight.
My words, her music sounds so much better coming out of your mouths than they do coming out of my head or my mouth. So thank you, all of you.
Yeah, thank you so much. You guys are all amazing, and we're so grateful that you're here.
That's it.
She is bold, she's very passionate, very nice, she's a girl with the light in her eyes. Whether I'm right, whether I'm wrong, I won't be afraid, but I will be strong. I can see her. I am that girl with the
Sure. So we've been focusing on women's
Of
stories.
course.
I wonder why.
If not us, who then?
So one of our new pieces that we've been working on is actually about the women who went to Alaska during the gold rush.
Wow.
They came from every country.
Some tough pioneer women.
They were tough pioneer women, but they were also women who saw a way to make it on their own. Whereas in the United States, whether they were in New York or somewhere else, they fell into one category or another.
Right.
And they went off to Alaska, and some of them became prostitutes, but they made a huge amount of money. And they did it very consciously. It was a choice. Some of them ran businesses, which they never could have run here. And it's a great story of survival and strength
and an untold story.
An untold story, which is a little bit like Divided, which is essentially the story of women dealing with the Civil War. And not this, I mean, yes, there's men in the story, but this is about the women who had to keep their families together, had to find ways to survive. There were 500,000 widows left at the end of the Civil War.
Wow.
And so this is their story. And it's also, I think we're drawn to stories that, while they might take place in another time, are very relevant. So Divided, while you could say it's a Civil War story, is really the story of people being divided by race, religion, politics, to such an extreme that they are no longer friends, they can't talk to each other. And so the relevancy of Divided has gotten more relevant than it was before.
Okay.
I don't know, do you have something to say about it, Chris?
No, you said everything. I mean, the other project that we have that we've been working on for even longer than Divided, and speaking of untold stories, is actually a musical about homeless people in New York.
And there are many more.
Well, there are
homeless people
many more
since
than
you
there
probably
were.
started
Oh,
working
yeah.
on it, yeah.
And that was pre-Divided, and we had done a few different workshops and readings and a concert here in the city, like a long time ago. We did a workshop up at SUNY Cortland, and that was inspired by some work I did doing homeless outreach. I spent about 3 years doing homeless outreach work, and had an opportunity to interact with a lot of people and talk to a lot of people and hear their stories. So we haven't done anything with it recently, but that is another project that we've, worked on for quite some time, and, would certainly be looking for some kind of a home for that piece as well.
Okay. Well, I met you, and the reason why you're my collaborator is because you were the music director and conductor for Gold Mountain, and I was so enchanted with you. I just had to know more about you.
Well, you're amazing, and I love you.
You were so much fun to watch, not only on stage, but ruling the roost over all the men on the team. Sounds familiar, yes? Your daughter, it's your daughter. So that leads me to another very big part of your life, which is Bola Gung Fu.
Yes, yeah.
And I'd like to know more about what your role is there, and
Sure.
Why it's so important to you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm the manager at the school and an assistant to my teacher, Sifu Polko, and he's the headmaster of Bolo Kung Fu. And I mean, we do a lot of things. We teach Kung Fu classes for kids, for adults, all ages, and then we also do traditional Chinese lion dance. So it's and my teacher makes books, manuscripts, videos, preserving the art of Kung Fu for future generations. So I think it's important for a few reasons. One is preserving this ancient art that is so important, and so few people are preserving it in the really traditional way, with the language, the culture, every single aspect, not just the movement. So I think that that's really important. And then, passing it on to the next generation, giving kids an opportunity to learn focus and discipline and respect and all of those qualities that are not necessarily imparted in other areas of their life, but they come to the Mogun and they learn all of these traditional values, along with learning to be physically strong and confident and all of those things. And the same benefits go for adults, but I think you really see the difference in the kids' lives.
And where is Bola Gung Fu located?
Yeah, we're on the border of the Lower East Side and Chinatown NYC, right on Grand Street by the Grand Street subway station. And we have a website, it's blkf.nyc.
Thank you for joining me for this edition of Backstage Pass with Lia Chang. Until next time.